Hello everyone, it's Jonathan Potts here, the President of Ultimate Australia, and welcome to our live stream. We have Doublewise from Melbourne in the white strip and Pompey Magnus from Sydney in the purple strip. And I'm joined here, my co-commentator is Maz DeMayo. Hi Maz.
Hello.
She's joining us for at least the first half of this game. Just taking a break from her team VLS, who are they're on a break at the moment. So here we go. Here's the first pull. Mike Neal from Pompey Magnus pulls it. And it's gone deep and rolled out the back of the end zone. And they're going to, quite slowly I think, walk it up to the front line. So, I think that's Jeff Grundy bringing it up. He's got Mark Isherwood back to Jeff Grundy, and then to Laura Minescu. Tim Wise with the disc. He's put up high to Isherwood. Isherwood's read that well. He's about 5 metres outside the end zone. Gets it to Minescu for the easy score. So they'll be pretty happy with that first point, Doublewise. It's windy conditions, so it's not necessarily that easy playing out there at the moment. What do you think of that one, Maz?
Very smooth, good teamwork.
It's close. Yeah, I feel like I can work with that.
So I've been using the new gender rule with the end zone decides. So Pompey Magnus just played 4 women, and I think we're waiting, and Doublewise is choosing 4 men for this point.
So, yeah, Pompey's on offense at this point. They got a lot of Australian players on the team, and a few past Australian players, a few internationals. So, yeah, of note on the line at the moment, they have Mike Neal, the captain of the Australian men's team, the Dingoes. And Kim Spragg also is out there at the moment. She played Worlds and then went on the All-Star Tour, which was a pretty select group of like some of the top college-age women in the US. Toured all around and played a bunch of top club teams in the US in August this year. So they'll be 2 key players in this point. So pull goes up. It's going to be fielded. Well, it's been left, so it's deep in the end zone. And Mike Neal has the disc. Oh, he's dropped it.
Neal fumbles, and it's a turnover despite an excellent layout attempt.
That's Tony Castrignano with the goal. Who was it through that? Was that Max Wheeler throwing that? I think it might have been. So Max Wheeler played on the Australian mixed team. I'm going to say he played on it in 2012. The last time he played for Australia. Maybe played on the Dingoes in 2012. So that was kind of an uncharacteristic drop there from Mike Neal, Pompey Magnus. I didn't quite see that, but I don't think there was much pressure there. It's just a spill. He'll be keen to get back out there and rectify, I'm sure.
Yeah, guys!
So Pompey Magnus receiving.
Yeah, Doublewise!
Bit of a crosswind going at the moment.
Hard running here, Keto!
Yeah, so as you're looking at the moment, the wind's coming kind of from behind the camera across the field.
Thomas receives to Spragg. Back to Thomas. Through the wall to, I'm not sure who. Wentworth. And Denya. Back to Holmes. Across to Thomas. On over the top to Wentworth. Wentworth for the goal.
There was a fancy little throw there for the goal from Michael Thomas. So Pompey gets on the scoreboard. They'll be glad to get on the scoreboard. Yeah, so I think, like with a cross-field win today, it's going to make it a little bit interesting. Like, offense isn't going to be that easy. It'll give the defense a bit to take a bite at, I think, in this game. Yeah, so both these teams have a lot of international representatives on them. So we do expect this to be quite a tight game. So Maz, which team are you playing on this weekend?
I am playing for Soda in the Div 2 comp, the first one ever for mixed.
And there we go. And how have you gone so far today?
So we have won our first 2 games. One against, pull goes up.
Here we go. So Pompey's pulled. It's they're gonna. Doublewise going to field it pretty much just off the end zone line, and it's Jeff Grundy with the disc. Doesn't have much at the moment, but he gets it through to Tim Wise. He's in a little bit of trouble, looking for his dumps, and he's got it to Isherwood. Isherwood sends it to Grundy. Grundy's in front, chasing it down, and takes that very comfortably on his chest. So that was interesting. Pompey had them in a little bit of trouble around the disc, bit of pressure on the thrower, but they broke out of it, and as soon as they broke out, Grundy just headed deep, and Isherwood got it to him.
Pompey using the gender rules again, with the end zone deciding that they are going to play 4 women.
Yeah, Doublewise!
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this tournament. It's the first time these rules have been trialled. It'll be interesting to see how teams use them, because there's been, generally speaking, I think, and one of the reasons why this rule's come in is generally most teams have favoured 4 men when they've been on offence, but with these new rules, you might be calling on offence or defence, so there'll be a lot of different options tried, I think, in a game. So Pompey's receiving.
So Thomas receives. So Holmes has it back to Thomas. So it's Edgar. Edgar puts it to Alexander. Alexander comes down with it.
Wow, that was a strong take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Alexander really had position there, but she took the dominant position and pulled it out of the air. And she took that over Alex Prentice from Doublewise, who's also an Australian player on the women's team, the Firetails. Yeah, so how's your team done today, Matt?
Yep, so we went up against Phoenix, which is, I believe, a new mixed team from Adelaide. Very exciting. And then we also played Lime, another team from our own club, and we beat them too. Yeah. This Div 2 seems to have really worked, brought out some new teams to come across the country, so it's nice to see that happening in mixed as well as the men's and women's division.
Yeah, it's great. I think... Oh, okay, hang on. Next point is starting, and Doublewise is on offense. The pool is deep, and it's just slid out the side of the end zone, so take it from the front cone. I think it's Grundy with the disc. Gets it across to Isherwood. Isherwood swings it out to no one. That was a miscommunication for sure. And Calaviatis maybe thought that was for someone behind him, but it wasn't.
Neil picking up, looking for... Vo for the score, striking from a handler position.
That was a quick turnover and score. Yeah. So Pompey's back in the game. I never have it. Okay, I think that's 3-all. Got a thumbs up on the score there from Ruben Berg, who's one of the game advisors for this game.
Also the new official after consultation on game advisory?
Yeah, so Ruben was just appointed as what we called it, game support manager. So just basically to give him a bit of free rein to manage that aspect of our national championships and make sure we have game advisors and allocate a bit of budget and yeah. So especially for our showcase games and our live stream games, it's important to kind of run them professionally. Make sure they run smoothly and also give players kind of a taste of the kind of experience they'll have on the international stage as well. And I think as well, Australia taking a bit of a lead in developing the role of the game advisor and how training works and all that sort of stuff. So Pompey puts it up. That is not a particularly good pull, and it's gone out of bounds about 30 metres upfield. So it'll be interesting to see whether Doublewise takes it from the side. No, they're taking it back to the brick mark.
Not particularly good.
So Wheeler has a disc at the brick mark, gets it out to Ryan, Simone Ryan. She's looking, they've got a bit of a cup around the thrower at the moment. Oh, and it produces a mistake. That was definitely an unforced error, with Ryan not catching that.
Oh no! So Vo got that from Edgar, and then just threw a little...
Minescu has a disc, a bit of a shouty shout there. But everything's sorted out. Everyone's finding their position. This is back in play. We got it, boys. So Calaviotis gets it to Bonnie McCoy. Gets it to Wheeler, right on the end zone line now. They're about 2 metres off the end zone. Back to Calaviotis. On the sideline, and it's probably a connection that's happened a few times before. Wheeler gives a leading pass up into the end zone, and they make sure of it. An easy score in the end. Yes, I think there's 9 teams in Div 2 at the tournament.
Yep, I think that's right.
A lot from New South Wales, which is kind of expected. It was kind of short notice, that division, I suppose. A lot of teams didn't really have a lot of time to plan. Do you know how many New South Wales teams? There's maybe one from Queensland, one from South Australia.
There's 2 from Queensland. Two from Queensland.
And one from
South Australia.
ACT.
One from ACT. Right? Yep. So
maybe 5 from New South.
Yeah.
Including a second team from Wollongong, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Doublewise!
Then I backed it up with a sweet little outside in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the camouflage. Yeah,
Winky. Yeah, it's going to come back. Excellent! One, Betty. Excellent! Back it on.
So Pompey Magnus came second at New South Wales Championships. So they've come in as the 5th seed in the tournament, I think. Oh, hang on. Okay, we're about to start the point.
All right, so Pompey Magnus is receiving. Danielle swinging it. Oh. Over to Alexander. Alexander to Nield. Oh, that's not Alexander, sorry. Malombi. Malombi to Nield. There seems to be a call. They're looking at the game advisor about whether it was up or down or injury. Sorry, injury.
Yeah, so Prentice has gone off for Hempel. Amy Hempel.
It's Nield.
Put it on, no break. Here we go, Pompey.
Malombi. Oh.
There's a big run through blocked by Ryan. She's sprinted off to the end zone. Now with Lockhart finds Ryan in the end zone. So that's a big point for her. That was a very good read of the play. She ran through, intercepted it, dished the frisbee off, and then headed towards the end zone, and her teammates found her there pretty quickly. So, yeah. So, Doublewise takes a bit of a lead now. They're up 5-3. It's been some very quick points so far. Like, I don't know if we've had more than one turnover in a point so far in this game.
I think you're right.
So, Maz, have you played against many of these Pompey players?
A fair few of them. I trained with Rogue this season, but I ended up playing for Wollongong. So I had a couple of them through Rogue training.
Yeah, you've been hosting a bit.
So most of the girls on this team play Rogue, yeah?
Yeah.
Apart from Kia, Molombi.
So Kim Spragg and Danny Alexander co-captained the Rogue team that won Nationals this year. So it's nice to see them back in action together.
Well, I don't think they won this year. They lost in the final to Ellipsis.
Yep, sorry, they got silver.
Ellipsis will get angry with us
sorry.
if we don't get that. If
My
we don't
apologies
correct that
to Ellipsis. They got silver at Nationals this year.
Okay, well, it's Thomas with a disc.
To Spragg. Oh, over. Neild's picking up the scraps. To Thomas. Big one to Vo. Oh, Vo gets position. Brings it down for an easy swing to Alexander.
Nice. Well, they were in a little bit of trouble there early on in the point, but again, similar to a point we saw from Doublewise earlier, that once they broke out of that trouble, and I guess ran helped a bit by Neil picking up those scraps from that kind of overthrown pass to Spragg. Once they broke out, they found the play pretty easy. And Thomas Foe, I did play a tournament with him, and he has very good field sense, and you'd be pretty comfortable with him having the frisbee just outside the end zone. And he was quite confident about putting that one away. And are you playing at university level as well?
Not at the moment, but I started playing with Wollongong Uni many years ago. And I'm technically at Sydney Uni at the moment, but have not played for them.
Right.
Yeah, Doublewise!
This year was a kind of a tough year for University Ultimate with Uni Games being in Perth. I think that kind of, it did kind of halve the size of the division, and I expect it's going to be quite big next year. Talk about introducing a mixed division into Uni Games. So
back into uni games.
Yeah, well, yes. Restoring the mixed division, yes. Doublewise has it. So Grundy has a disc with a bit of a zone look. Gets to Castriano. He's get it back. Bit of give it go. Prentice, she dumps it back to Grundy. Grundy's really the pivot in this zone offense. To Ryan. Out to Calaviotis, who's on the far sideline. Centers it to Ryan. Oh! And a good touch there. It's
Taking Sutas to Denya. Denya's looking for a dump. Goes for an upside down to Jens Meyer to Holmes. Oh! A lot of
that was a little bit ugly, I think, that
Yeah.
bid. I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they at least retain possession, Pompey Magnus, but they may well get it on the end zone line. I think Holmes looked like he had position there and was just jumping up for the disc and got taken out.
They're consulting on the game advisors as a position, as an outsider's perspective, which was really nice to see being used.
Yeah, so... oh, I think I'm losing Maz. Going off to play your game now.
Yep, but I will pass you off to my great teammate. Yeah.
Thank you, Maz.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Hi, Mel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well.
Good, that's the thing I
It's a
need.
good break in play. So
What are we at? That's 4-5?
4-5. Doublewise is up. Having a bit of discussion on the field at the moment about that reception.
Contested.
It's a contested, going back to thrower. So I'll brief you a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So you're basically calling.
Great job, Laura.
All right.
Yeah, sure. Generally just use. Yeah.
Very professional outfit
Okay,
out
so
here.
Maya's got the disc.
Holding the line, yeah, holding the line.
And see if he tries to do it again.
3, 2, 1.
I hope he does. Looks great.
Good, Laura, perfect.
Holmes has it on the sideline. He throws big hammer across field.
Whoa, well
It's a little bit
fair.
heartbreaking. Dropped in the end zone.
Yeah. First to welfare. Dropped in the end zone. Unfortunate. Crossfield.
So they've kind of returned the favour, Doublewise. Put it out into
Maya has
space,
it again.
well away from Prentice, who
Looking for his dump. There it is to Denya. And it's gone upfield. Sudas in the air, coming down with it. That's a goal.
that was a nice read by
That was
Sudas.
a very nice read by Sudas. He is so good in the air. I played Titan Bright with him last weekend, and he picks up everything. All my crap throws. It's fantastic. He's just such a good dude to play Frisbee with.
He's a good athlete, and he's actually a nice guy, which, that's pretty rare in Frisbee circles, don't you think, Mel?
He's
He's a very nice guy.
I have no comment.
Even
I'm gonna no
amongst
comment on
Frisbee
that.
circles, I think he stands out.
Doublewise looking a lot less fluoro than in previous years.
Right. So I think that's evens now. I think they've evened it up. There's a bit of scrappiness in that point. A couple of quick turns from both teams. Kind of unforced. But still, this game so far has been pretty clean. Most points have been either no turnovers or a single turnover.
That's good. Do we know
Up
how
till
these
now.
teams have gone in the last few games?
Well, this is a top of the table clash.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they've been going, but I'm gonna guess that they've had some pretty comfortable games. These are the 4 and 5 seeds in the tournament.
Ooh.
So Thomas pulls it. It's just outside the end zone and rolling, and it's fielded. Didn't see who that was. So
Pompey
that was
with a zone
Wise, back to Wheeler, to McCoy, back to Wise. He centers it to Hempel. Okay, back to Wise again. He's really trying to take control of this zone offense. And Wise gets it again, popping into the cup. Out to McCoy. McCoy swings it wide. And McCoy's doing a lot of popping work right now. We'll see if, and then Isherwood's come in. There's really fast movement of the disc here by Doublewise. They're barely holding on to it for more than 1 or 2 seconds. Back out to Wise. Settled down a little bit with Wise and Wheeler handling. And now Wise is heading upfield. Hempel has it. He's got the cup on. She finds space down the middle and she catches a goal. That was pretty clinical work in the zone offense from Doublewise. Like, I'd say quite exceptional how they just didn't really sit on. None of the handlers really sat on the disc. They all looked to just move it as quickly as possible once they got it. It was quite pretty to watch.
Almost not even a chance for Pompey there. They were just hitting everything.
I mean, sometimes you've got to be a little bit careful that you don't get the disc moving too fast and, you know, get the defense out of position and then suddenly one of them's in position by mistake. But no, they did that really well. Lachlan Wise really took control of that point.
They're quiet sidelines here.
Yeah.
I think the heat's getting to people.
Maybe it's a quiet before the storm. It's like
Maybe.
they've been playing point for point this half, and I'm going to expect that it's going to be pretty big second half and pretty tight going down to the wire in this game. So Mel, you're playing with VLS in the Div 1 team.
The Div 1 team, yeah. We are.
The pool comes up.
Pool goes up. I'll catch you up on VLS later. Brick. Just kidding, it wasn't a brick. Oh!
Whoa.
No call there.
Isherwood got the block.
Huge
Took
block.
a big hit. Now it's Moroney with the disc. Gets it out to Wheeler. Throws a big inside out. There's a call on the throw, perhaps. Certainly flew well over his intended receiver's head. Manescu was cutting break side there.
She has not grown 3 feet in the last few weeks.
So it looks like it's coming back to Wheeler. It's pretty insistent and he was fouled there. And
uncontested foul.
Contested.
It's on 0, uncontested, I believe. So Wheeler has a disc. He's like round the attacking brick mark, so about 20 metres out from the end zone in the middle of the field. He immediately puts it into the end zone to Isherwood. Isherwood's happy about that.
That's it, that's a break.
Yeah. And Isherwood got the block there, so, you know, has good reason to be happy.
A little bit of double happiness. Everyone loves that. Ah! Where's Ruben?
Hello,
Ooh.
Jonathan.
I'm not Jonathan, but hi.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Ruben. Are we testing? Are we live? Okay. How's the game panning out for you, Ruben?
Yeah, it's going very well. There's only been a few calls and they've been resolved pretty quickly, so it's a very high intense game out there.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, there haven't been a lot of turnovers. There's that one scrappy point with where Jono Holmes had that contested foul in the end zone. But other than that, I think it's been like either clean or a single turnover.
Be concerned about the condition. Over down this end zone to the right.
The muddy section. We lost you for a second there.
Quite loose ground down here.
I feel like, yeah, all of the fields are feeling that condition today.
Okay, so Pompey's getting the disc with
Sudas
Sudas.
picking it up. Putting it to Holmes. Over to Neil. Oh, through to Winky. Wentworth, sorry. So unprofessional using that nickname.
That's cool.
Sprag. Back to Sudas. Oh. Daniel nailed. Sprague coming up the sideline. Doesn't get it. Oh.
Wow. The zone works again for Doublewise, and they're moving it. Wise has the disc. Gets it out to Lockhart. Oh, it's a tight throw, but well fielded by Lisa Falbeck. Falbeck gets it back to the middle to Tim Wise. Swings it out to Ryan. Ryan's on the far sideline, maybe 30 metres, just past halfway. Back to Wise. It gets it out to Lockhart with a windy one.
Daniel with
it's a bit of a hit
there.
And Holmes pulls it down there.
Cool. That's it. Nailed him end zone. Oh. Retrospective call maybe.
It was interesting. Like Lockhart seemed happy enough with that being played on, but then maybe he's changed his mind. He's not so happy.
Well, I think I caught the disc, and then there was contact. So if you want to call a foul, but I'll contest it. Yeah, call a foul because I felt it was. I'm just asking. No, you can't complain about it. Well, no, he needs to make a call. He can't wait till the goal's thrown and then come over and say, what do you think about it? Bring it back, it's contested. It doesn't matter if he catches it first if he's down.
So there's been a call made and it's contested?
I didn't call it at the time. Guys, I mean, just have a think about some of the calls that you guys are making. I wasn't trying to make a reactionary call on your D. Okay?
So has there been a call?
I've called foul, but more than anything, I just wanted to ask him a question. And you're welcome to ask me a question anytime, mate. Yeah, so you felt that there was contact after, and I felt like you had to jump over me and contact me because of it. And I had no chance to grab the frisbee the minute you jumped into me. There was absolutely contact, mate. There's contact in every game, in pretty much every contest. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're contesting a foul down here where I get hit in the face, so maybe just have a think about how the fouls are going. Sure. If you want to call it, I'm contesting it, it's going back. Sure.
So there's a call?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, no. What did you think, Ruben?
It was too long ago now to think about exactly what happened.
I'm going to retract my call and allow the play, if you guys are willing, allow the play on.
It's retracted.
Right.
It's a goal.
Wow, that was that was pretty exciting. I think we should just give up as commentators and just let the players take over.
If Ruben can be really close to everything that happens and pick up the players' talk, fantastic.
That was super exciting.
All right.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall. Yeah. That was an interesting discussion. Like, it was heated. Holmes felt, that he hadn't had much benefit in his call earlier, which happened just as you were arriving, I think.
Yeah, no, I missed that one.
The high one in the end zone, and so he was a bit unhappy about a bit of contact being called a foul there. But, look, I'm going to say from the sideline here, there was contact. Holmes definitely, dominated in the air and got the disc, but he did contact Lockhart on the way down.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that said, I do understand the frustration at a non-immediate call.
Yeah, no.
Like,
that was
I
a bit
that
surprising.
Yeah.
Both you and I were like,
oh, no foul, all right,
no
play
foul,
on.
let's play on. It's gone to the end zone, it's goal. Oh, it's a goal. But then, I think Lockhart's point was, I just wanted to talk about it, which is fair enough. Sometimes you just want to talk about it.
Exactly, we're all about the feelings here in Frisbee.
Well,
interesting to see what
one thing we
come
can be
out
sure is some people are going to watch this video, find out exactly what happened on the field.
Exactly, re-watch it and hear what the players said.
You don't get that in any other sport, I've got to say. You do not.
And they're taking a brick thrown.
They're still
by
talking
Pompey.
on the sideline. I'm going to say they might hug this out at some stage. Okay, so we're back in the game. Pompey's pulled it. Grundy's very slowly walking it back to the middle of the field. He's well aware of the rule that if you drop the disc as you carry it back onto the field, it's not a turnover, so he's just playing with the frizzer. But that's a recent rule change.
We sorted? There was discussion about whether offside was called or not.
Yeah, it's not an improvement to the game. These petty offside calls, I've got to say. So Grundy has it. It's playing against the zone. he's trying to be Lachlan Wise right now and take every second pass, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. This must be like it's not just an individual decision, but a team decision to get the disc moving as quickly as possible. And so far, he has taken every second one. Wheeler with the disc now, kind of near the upwind end. I'm going to say they want to try not to get stuck on that far sideline, because that's going to be the only place you're really going to get in trouble. A cheeky one through the cup to Isherwood. Isherwood back to Wheeler. They're around halfway now, and there's plenty of open options at the moment. And especially they're moving it fast and breaking up this cup. And Ryan takes a nice little grab through the cup, gets it back off to Isherwood. Isherwood's got a big mark on him, and now gets it through to Calaviados. They're just outside the end zone now, looking for the easy goal. There's a bit of contact, and I think there was a stoppage, but the thrower played on. I think it's going to go back. There's some talk. I think this is pretty clear. Like, the defense stopped, and yeah, but we'll see. Okay, Indian is going to restart with Calaviotis. He's like a metre out, so they really do want to run this cheeky little give-go. Little leading pass for Isherwood to jump it in, but I think Daniel has different ideas. They've telegraphed it. Oh, okay, I think this is taking too long right now. Come on, sort it out. This is simple.
After 60 seconds, it's automatically contested, isn't it?
Yeah, not when you got a couple of big personalities out there, I don't think.
There's Ruben. Ruben's just hanging out. Yeah. I'll let him sort it out.
Okay. So Daniel's watching that. Oh, just off the ground, and someone's calling it down. I definitely didn't have good enough eyesight to call that one.
A lovely few milliseconds of play there before the next call, though. Very exciting. Almost got one whole pass.
Well, the game advisors are coming in to try and get the game moving again.
You're asking me? Yeah. Look from where I was.
Looked up? I'm going to call down because I heard the disc hit the grass.
I thought it was down. Okay. So the game advisor has said he thought it was up. I think Ben Sudas is saying he clearly saw it hit grass.
It's just advice. You're all closer than I am. Are you contesting it? Let's get it going.
Been given the hurry up by Ruben Berg. And I think they're obeying. They know what's good for them.
All right, we're back in.
So Dania is really focused on... that is a cheeky, beautiful little throw from Jeff Grundy. That was very, very pretty.
Cheeky lefty hammer into the right corner of the end zone. He was using his left and right hand through that point.
Yeah, right. Look, I played with Jeff Grundy, I'm going to say 2006, back when he started playing up in Queensland.
There's been a spirit timeout call.
Spirit timeout, well, that's not surprising.
That's really not surprising. Although the two boys who were involved in that last call were standing here in front of us on the sideline, apologising to each other, like talking it out a little bit more. There were a few apologies, so that was nice. Good to hear.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real ill feelings between these two teams. They realise that, you know, things are being discussed a bit too deeply and a bit too often, and they just probably want to calm things down a bit and hug it out in a team-like way.
I mean, look, the spirit timeout is there for a reason. Good on them for using one.
I think they're all going to come in.
That's what you do.
It's all.
Look at all those high fives.
It's all so nice, really, isn't it?
We have a guy who plays with us on
Imagine
BLS.
this in any other sport.
I know, he's come from cricket, and he's like, you guys touch each other so much. There's just so much high-fiving all the time.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
It's like that story from like World War I when the Germans and the English come out of the trenches and... You know,
Christmas
they share
Day.
Christmas together and play a game of football.
It's always Christmas in the ultimate world.
You've got opposition players having a bit of a throw with each other. Calaviotis and Meyer just giving each other some pointers on their backhands. Maya's a former German national player. Been living in Australia for like the last 15 years, maybe. So almost Australian. Almost. Lives in Bondi. Doesn't get more Australian than that.
Well, they're all smiles walking off the field.
There's lots of smiles.
So.
But like, remind me, Mel, what's the story here? So the captains are talking.
But usually in a spirit timeout, the other two teams get in like a big.
They should be a big circle, yeah.
Circle.
Circle it up, people.
Exactly. They're just too intense. They all want to get hands on discs.
Yeah.
But, well, look, Henry's over there. I think he tried and failed to get everyone in a circle, but that's all right.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Like, certainly in Australian Ultimate, people are generally pretty close. There's some fierce rivalries, but people are generally pretty close friends with players on other teams. And you got people like Mark Isherwood who moves cities and, still plays with his old team, but now has a social life in a different city. So,
well, and Manescu's a Sydney sider and she's playing with the Melbourne team.
There's a bit of cross-pollination.
Well, it was Manescu last year. They were Manescu, so...
Yeah, right, okay, yeah.
All right, the captains are coming back, so I wonder if... No? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I thought they were going to circle it up together, but they still seem to be circling up.
Decided not to circle it up?
Oh. Oh, it's also half-time.
Okay.
Simultaneous half-time
So
and spirit
maybe
timeout.
that's why.
We missed that one.
Yeah.
Too busy with all the calls. Forgot that it was also half-time.
I'm going to... Maybe if Ruben's available, does the spirit timeout add to the time cap, Ruben? Are you listening?
No, he's very intensely in discussion with Ash there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. On the far sideline...
it should add to the time. All right, there we go.
So
they've still got a full half-time time. Got it.
The game will go over time a little bit. So on the far sideline, the other game advisor is Eshan Wikrima.
Who really knows how to say that last name?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but it's close.
Yeah.
Who just had shoulder surgery. He played on the Dingoes Australian men's team this year, just had shoulder surgery, so...
Probably about time. The number of times I've seen him in a sling from a shoulder dislocation.
Yeah.
He did it while warming up the other year at Mixed Nationals. He sneezed and dislocated his shoulder. Pretty sure that was Ash.
It's not a pleasant. It's not a pleasant reconstruction. I've had a shoulder reconstruction, and you're kind of out for at least 6 months, and I don't know.
Be a decent loss for Frisky. He's normally a Frisky boy.
Anyway, hopefully it comes good for him. He doesn't have any further problems with the shoulder. Yeah, so the game so far has been pretty tight. We've got Doublewise with a couple of points lead now at halftime. But that's really the product of a couple of intercepts or blocks in the zone that Doublewise has just managed to get a cheeky block and kind of... The second one was a lot of passes before they scored, but they didn't really look under pressure until they working it up the field.
Making it look easy.
So, yeah, I think the zone seems to be working, and it's not it's a bit windy across the field, but it's not. I wouldn't say this is a particularly wind-affected game. So
it was a really nice day for Ultimate.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a breeze. It's warm. Nothing too fierce. Game advisors are still having a chat over there.
There's been a lot of talking in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been a lot more talking than playing.
More talking than playing, exactly.
Look, it's been entertaining. The point of the live stream is to entertain, not necessarily to show you the greatest athleticism. So
well,
we're not at the moment.
It's good when it's there, but there's just a lot of breaks. Recharge those ATP supplies.
Yeah.
Get those muscles firing quick
there
again.
We go.
It's tactical. They're all tactical calls.
Yeah, tactical.
No, I don't know about that.
But Yeah, look, at the moment I feel the pendulum has swung a little bit too much onto the talking side of things, and less of the playing.
We'll see how they come out after that spirit timeout.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to hear what that spirit timeout was about.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear that one.
No. The mic was off. Maintaining privacy. Did none have any more games today? How have you guys gone today?
Well, my team is actually playing right now, and they're probably performing much better than when I was with them. So we're in a pool, so we played Crew from South Australia, which was super tight, 5-all I think, and then we got a massive run, and that kind of finished the game.
Oh well.
But they were good. They were strong and athletic, and troubled us a lot. And then we played Ellipsis, who were undermanned, only had 5 men.
Ooh.
So we tried to run them into the ground, tried to run their men into the ground.
Did it work?
Well, it didn't work.
No.
But their women were strong. They played a lot of 4 women.
Are both Phillips sisters on that Ellipsis team?
No, well, Kat Phillips just had finger surgery, so she's out for a couple of months, I think, unfortunately. It's from her football exploits.
Oh, well, that's what you get when you start playing it.
Maybe that's a sneaky trick by them to break her fingers so she can't ever play Frisbee again, and she'll have to become a full-time footballer, I don't know. But anyway, look, hopefully that heals really well, because Kat's a sensational Frisbee player. It would be good to see her back on the field soon.
It would be. Lovely to watch play.
So the wind's picked up a tiny bit right now. I think we're finally going to see some Frisbee action again.
It feels like it's been a while.
It feels like it's been a while. This could be a different game.
Oh, they're all cramping up after all that.
So this is top of the pool matchup. The winner. Yeah, let's assume that there's a bit of a gap to the other teams. Like, I think the next seed down is like the 12th and 13th seed. So I would imagine these guys have had pretty easy games outside of this one.
But this is the game they come to nationals to play them. This is what you come for.
This is
you come for the close one.
You get a bye tomorrow if you win this game. Like, you don't play a pre-quarter.
Playing for a bye.
So that's a pretty significant thing. Like, being fresh coming into your quarterfinal, I think, is a big advantage. It certainly helps. Gives you a bit of insurance against the upset, I think. Doesn't always work like that, but most teams want to really avoid a pre-quarter.
It's also just nice not to have to drive out to St Mary's that early in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, no. Just means you get a longer lunch, I think.
Well.
So maybe you can head off to St Mary's Leagues Club in your break.
Slightly less of a motivator.
Catch the matinee show.
Yeah. It's the morning bye that's the really coveted spot.
Yeah. No, there's none of that happening.
No, the first time I ever got a morning bye was in an afternoon tournament. So, all right, we're off. Thomas with it. Ooh.
And a drop by Holmes. Wow, that is just... So Wise has the disc.
Time cap's just gone, so...
And Ryan, she's not far out of the end zone.
Ooh, all right. That might have
Phone
been
it away.
wind we were
I'd
talking
say
about.
that's unforced. And Denny's going to walk it back to the cone.
Let's go, Locko!
Holmes busting one. Not coming on. Thomas to Spragg. Spragg to Neild.
They're very spread out right now.
Back to Spragg. Oh, Zenyan grabs that out of it. Looking for Neild, it's not coming.
They're struggling a bit with this zone.
Yeah, they are. Neil's got it over there on the sideline. Looking for Thomas. Oh, through to Spragg. That's a nice look there. Holmes puts it long to Welfare. Ooh, a little bit of a misread and some pressure from Doublewise there. Turnover in the end zone. Spragg from VLS is here to cheer on her sister Spragg.
Yeah, so that was a bit of an overthrow by, I felt. Like, Ryan came in hard and kind of drew the receiver in.
There's a few things going on. Long shot, slight misread.
Wise sent it to Manescu. That's too big. She's fast, Manescu, but that was overthrown.
Fast, but not the flash.
Yeah.
Here
They've got field
we get to
position.
see a bit of this zone again.
Yeah,
so
maybe that's part of it.
a little
They
bit of
just
a
wanna-
Huckins zoney.
They just want to play in this end of the field, maybe.
We're looking. Daniel's picking up the disc. Ooh, they've come back in man here. Daniel looking around to Spragg. Through to, is that Edgar? To Spragg. Foul position. Wanted to put it this team. Thomas. Daniel. Daniel's surely looking for. No, he's not. Just kidding. And back to Thomas. Swing to Neil. Spragg. Ooh.
That was a sharp throw. Yeah, it wasn't really
Bit of
what was
spikes on
necessary
it, but
right then.
not quite on target. Do love a bit of a low flick though. I'm all about that. I'm all about that throw. Just needed someone to catch it.
Yeah. Need a little bit more touch on it. A bit of air bounce.
Travel call.
Come on, mate. Use that engine.
Is that Cowan with the disc, I think, on the far sideline? Okay, Wise has it in the end zone. Winds up again, but just faking. Oh, jeez. So that was aimed at Manescu. It was out of her reach. Ryan had a bit at it. She couldn't get to it. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of contact after the disc went down, but it's all fine. Neil's picked it up. I'm going to say it's going to get it to Denya, and Denya's going to throw the goal.
Here we are.
Denya
Well,
loves
it's
to
a
throw
pretty
a goal.
good. And that's exactly what's happened. Denya to Holmes. Go on in. Much needed for Pompey, probably. For their
Yeah.
mental
Well, they
game picking
definitely
up.
needed that.
Yep.
We're not actually sure if that's time cap. What the story is. It's not. So our game's
not
still
our
going.
time cap. We're still running.
Someone somewhere is in charge of the time cap. Maybe Ruben.
Yeah. We just look behind us and wait for people to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down when we ask questions.
So apparently it's the other division, perhaps. That was time cap for.
Ah.
Perhaps. That's good, because it has been a pretty fast game. I would have been surprised, even with those delays, that we'd hit time cap.
Sorry. You just heard like this.
So we're not even close to time cap, and we've got double wide over Pompey Magnus, 8 points to 7, and Doublewise is about to receive. Will be interesting to see if Pompey sends down a zone. Hasn't been super successful. It slowed them down a little bit.
I haven't been here for many Pompey D points, I'm realising.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
go, Pompey.
Go sideline, boys.
Danny Alexander's on the field, always a good sign.
They're picking up their men, so looks like it's going to be man on man, person on person. You got say Pompey's got a lot of speed on their upfield defenders. Max Wheeler with the disc on that brick mark. Oh, and it's dropped by Isherwood due to the ground contact. Sudas has it.
To Wentworth. This is looking long. Going across there to Malombi. Oh, there's a call.
Pick call.
Pick call. Thank you, Ruben.
So Wollombi has it maybe 10 or 15 metres out from the end zone on the sideline.
And she's put it up to Danny Alexander, who'll surely take that down. There we go.
Yeah.
What a smile. Danny Alexander whipping out that smile.
Well, now it's a game. It's 8-all now.
We're back. We're back to evens.
Yeah. Fairly unforced. Look, there's a bit of pressure on that reception to Isherwood, but I'd pretty much call that an unforced error. Just...
like you said, Pompey did have very quick upfield defenders and they weren't getting much space from them. So
I think that partly led to that dispossession by the ground. They're going 4 men.
Pompey.
So Doublewise really needs to score this one. Like, I mean, I'd almost say they've been the more impressive team on offense to a large extent, like some beautiful zone points. And some very quick goals. But
they have looked, well, they have looked very clinical for a lot of it, but a few unforced errors. So
Wheeler's fielding it just in the end zone. Yes, Wise on the end zone line, middle of the field. Back to Wheeler. To Ryan. There's good yardage gainer. To Isherwood, and with position and a couple of cutters deep, but he looks under. Wise comes back under, cutting strongly. It's up the line to Wheeler. Wheeler sends it to Isherwood. But battle of the big boys there, and Denya manages to draw Isherwood into the wrong position, really. Isherwood could have just faded out with that and pulled it in. So Denya brings up the line.
Well, here we go. Huge put by Holmes. Looking for Danny just outside the end zone.
Oh! Wow.
There we go. Another turn.
Yeah, so Wheeler's got the disc. Oh, no. Yeah, Wheeler. No, I'm good.
Oh, get there.
Oh.
Bragg trailing, and that's a goal.
We've got 2 more last.
Need some more calls, get their legs back.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe. Well, Pompey will be a bit disappointed with that one. They did what they needed to do to get the disc, but then gave it back. I like the matchup though, Prentice and Alexander.
Yeah.
Be good to see more of that. More big contests in the air between those two.
There you go, 4 boys called.
Oh, I should have read that on.
And so Doublewise gets their advantage back.
I should have got that.
So who's higher seeded of these two teams?
So Doublewise is 4th seed.
Great job,
Okay.
Pam.
Magnus is 2nd seed, sorry. Whatever I'm
Pompey
trying
are
to say.
second. So Pompey are higher. 2nd to 4th. Is that what you're saying?
So, no, I'm just...
Guess who was surprised with this commentating gig?
I'm misspeaking.
This guy.
Make Australia great again.
Oh, duh.
So, Doublewise are 4th seed in the tournament, and Pompey Magnus are 5th seed in the tournament.
Okay, so there we... Woodley's just ripped that out from under us.
Okay, Sudas has it middle of the field.
All right, Tivo. Looking for Neil through that cup there. Ooh, spicy throw to... And Sudas has got it again to Wentworth. Putting it to Neil on the side there. Not hitting Kirsten Welfare in that front corner. Back to Wentworth. Thomas. Spicy feedback in our ears here. Wentworth. Back to Sudas on that sideline. Looking, ooh. Wanted to throw that hammer, he keeps faking it. And Thomas to Welfare in the end zone, and she's brought that one down.
So
that's good.
we seem to have
good.
a bit of feedback happening
Yeah.
here. But
Yeah, no.
I think it is this box here.
Potsy's just talking about the feedback. No one Oh, there we go. Oh, no, but that just means this is off. No, this is... I've got some VLS players behind me who are just talking shit, so
Got
it's really
tangled
difficult
cables,
to
that
get
might be
focused
the-
on this game. It's alright. Oh, you, our microphones may be on. You've been cut from the commentating gig. Potsy's been cut. You just get to listen to my delightful voice.
I don't.
Oh,
Is
no,
that
he's
mic
back.
okay? Yeah, we still got the buzz.
Nailed with the pull. Looks like they are forcing flick. Here we go.
Stay with him, stay looking. Go on, throw now, Dave. That's good attack. Give him flat, Dave. Up, Dave.
Get in there, Danny. Danny and Ryan. Oh,
Yes, Danny.
that's a turn.
Great look, Topper.
Hey, Dave.
Right, here we go. Pompey looking to pull away. Alright, fabulous. Can do that. Sprague walking back to the disc.
Your time to shine. Go, Simo. Go under, Simo. Way under, Prim, way under. Go closer. Simo, go closer.
Alright, here we go. Oh, Sprague with a lovely break to Andrews.
Pressure this guy. Jiggly.
And back to Sprague.
Keep on for it, Dave. Work it, Dave. That's it.
Oh, that's it. Big D from, is that Woodley over there?
Yeah. So Isherwood has a disc, gets it to Wheeler, maybe 5 metres out of the end zone. Looking to reset it to Grundy. Gets it to Calaviotis. That looks, no, it's dropped by Ryan. That was a pretty sharp catch. Yeah. Not really the option they were looking for. So Vidler's walking up with the disc.
Alright, looking for Meyer, reset in the middle of the field, across to Neild. Andrews super free on this sideline over here. Gotten it through to Alexander. Back to Neild. Back to Alexander. Wentworth upfield. Fantastic play. Oh, Vidler takes that and sort of gets taken out, but no call. Fantastic. Looking for Wentworth behind the disc. And up to Mike Neild. Kind of looking very clean here, Pompey. That's a long throw to Alexander, who fantastic bid, but not quite.
I think that might have been out the back of the end zone as well. So she was trying to toe the line and dive and catch it. That was a pretty tough call. Thought as well earlier in that play that maybe Prentice might have got a bit of a foot to that throw by Wentworth. Seemed to float up a bit. Maybe Neil cleaned it up. Yeah, anyway. So Grundy walking with the disc. Gets it to Calaviotis. Middle of the field to Prentice. Unmarked to Wheeler. Wheeler with a bit of space has put up a contested throw. And there's a bit of push and shove there. Ryan's calling something. But yeah.
Uncontested.
Uncontested foul on the end zone line.
Get down there! Get down there!
Not 100% sure that Ryan had to play on that, but you know, there's definitely a lot of contact. And she's called the timeout. That's controversial.
I don't know what the stat is now because I'm not live streaming with Max commenting on it, but it was something some high percentage of these result in a turnover. It may have been 82%, and that may be the number that everyone makes up when they're making up statistics. But I know it's a high percentage of these do turnover, so we'll see if Doublewise can break that percentage, make that percentage a little bit lower.
Yeah. Of all the positions, you'd say standing on the end zone line, the percentages have to be reasonably high, but it's a bit of an albatross around the neck when you call a timeout. So we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna imagine they'll set some sort of play or try to isolate a receiver. It'll be interesting to see if Pompey comes out in some sort of zone or something to try and wreck any play that they might have.
No, we need to go there. He was in there for about probably 20 seconds. He's like, it's a fucking timeout. Show me the ball. Show me the time.
So disc is going to come in. Count's going to be on 0 with Ryan on the disc. And Doublewise has pulled 2 handlers out of the end zone. And Pompey Magnus is setting up man on man, person on person. Which I think is interesting. If anything, you'd say they're looking for Calaviotis. He's kind of isolated in front of the disc. But, wow. And maybe he towed that in, but the sideline's definitely calling it out, or Holmes is calling it out. So they did everything they needed to do, but they ended up throwing to Dave Andrews, and he got the block and knocked it far enough away that he couldn't get a second play on it.
The system works, percentages are intact, and Max holds on to his glory. All right, nailed. Ooh, spicy crossfield for Wentworth. Looking to put it to Meyer around the back there. Great look. Nailed with his arms up downfield, looking for that long. Put it back to Wentworth. Through to Mike Neal. Ooh, lots of pressure there from Doublewise.
Yeah, I thought there was maybe a little bit of trip involved there or something. Something happened, but anyway, didn't complete. And Grundy has it maybe 15, 20 metres out of the end zone, centres it a bit to Isherwood. Isherwood has kneeled on him, floaty pass, Meyer and Calaviotis, and he's good in the air. Pulls that down, makes sure of the goal. Yeah, there wasn't much that Meyer could do there, I don't think. It was a great jump, made sure of it. And Doublewise up by 1. 10-9, is that right? I think so. So Mel, you're just looking for your name there? Make sure it's spelled. Yeah, right. You guys...
The pronunciation of the last name. Well, the pronunciation of the last name is what'll get them, unless they know me.
Yeah, how do you pronounce your last name?
I don't really know. Boodib, I think.
Well, whatever you tell me is what's going to happen, so be careful.
Are you doing it? So I can tell you pronounce something totally different.
Well, it's maybe I'm doing it. I've got to actually play some games with my team, or they'll be really unhappy. But to an extent, they might be happy if I don't play. So,
I mean,
yeah.
if they win, you'll be fine. You can commentate all day.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't really want my only game that I play to be a losing quarterfinal, because that won't be that much fun. Yeah, so you're playing ISOC tomorrow, is that right?
Yes, ISOC, who I keep wanting to call Sockeye, which maybe is the reason that they're called ISOC.
Yeah,
the South Australian sense of humour. The pull is out of bounds, and like at halfway or earlier, maybe. That's a mistake. They're calling a brick. I really disagree with that. Like, someone gives you, 30, 40 metres on the pull. Why not just take it? I don't know. Anyway, they called the brick. Yeah. So, Thomas, bring this to the brick mark.
Oh, Thomas puts it long straight away. Classic, and that's an easy take for Holmes in the end zone. There we go. Pompey return, 10-all.
Guess that's why he wanted to take it to the brick mark.
All right, we've just been told they've been added 2 minutes for the Spirit timeout, so there we go. That question is answered, if anyone was ever wondering. We were wondering, question's been answered by a very cute baby. I mean, the baby didn't answer the question. It's probably a little bit too advanced for that.
Hey, Chrissy, tougher boy.
McCoy's wearing some gloves out on the field there. That's keen. You'd be warm in them. I never really know what the Australian Ultimate scene thinks of gloves still. You don't see them often. Is there a stance on gloves? I know Nathan Stacey had one on his blog way back when.
Had a stance, or he had gloves on his blog?
Stance.
Yeah, look. Considering there are some very good athletes that play in gloves, you got to say that they're probably pretty handy. But then, Leo, there's some not great athletes who do as well. Okay, so the pull's up. Is this one going to stay in? It's just fading out at the end. So Grundy's going to take it to the brick mark. It's 10-all. Can't get much tighter than that. Looks like person-on-person defense. And a vertical set with Isherwood throwing a few fakes in, but not getting free, and Minescu open, and now that was probably the least pretty ultimate we've seen from Doublewise. Terrible cutting, looked off an easy underpass and threw a fading huck out of bounds to a double marked receiver. But Holmes is bringing it back in on the sideline.
That was harsh. All right, Holmes. Oh, Vo with the drop. That's gotta hurt. All right, we're back.
Isherwood just outside the end zone. Tosses up a hammer. Okay. Oh. Wheeler has it right on the end zone line. He throws the goal to Minescu. Wow. Well, it was harsh, but, I think it's been some very pretty ultimate up to this point. And then, that was... there was that, and then that hammer, was it a hammer or a scuba? It was, that was not very pretty either, but it worked that time. And Doublewise takes a 1 point advantage. So that was Minescu with the goal. So we never really talked much about VLS. So you guys played a couple of games today.
So we had our first game against the Lounge Lizards, and we got up on them by a few. Really well-spirited games this morning, actually. Very few calls. And then we had a game against Melbourne Empire that we lost on Universe, which was quite devastating because we were up by a few and they got on a 4-point run on us, and I don't really know what happened, but we didn't seem to lose our heads. We just also didn't seem to catch the disc in the end zone, which generally you need to win a game. Unfortunately, wasn't happening.
Right, so I'm going to guess that your pool is not quite running to seed.
No, I think Lounge Lizards were seated well above us. Anyway, we've got Frisky tomorrow morning, so that'll be fun. All right, here we go. Thomas de Weidler back to Thomas. Kneeled super free in the middle of the field there. There's not much coming in for him. Alexander. Call there. often uses pick calls to just flex. All right, Alexander putting a cheeky one up to Thomas, who sneaks it. There we go to Vidler. A very tall man right in front of me. Kneeled. Oh, perfect. Thomas gets it. And he deserves that point after that. That was fantastic from him.
Yeah, that was a very strong take on that throw from Alexander. Like, yeah, didn't quite look like the best option when Alexander threw it, but she knew her receiver, and Thomas just came through the pack and just pulled it in front of everyone. So, 11s. Still tight. And it's kind of the pattern of the game. Maybe the last couple of points. Yeah, maybe just that point. There's been a few. Look, Pompey is converting easily right now. I guess I'll say that. And there was some easy conversion at the start of the game. I'd say the mid-game, there are a few multiple turns. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe, like right at the moment, I'd say the Pompey kind of has the upper hand. They're like doing the offense kind of easily, and Doublewise is, yeah, becoming a little bit sketchy. But they were the dominant offensive team earlier on in the game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they flick back into that. Grundy's out there. So Neil pulls it on the edge of the end zone. It's dropped. That's a killer. And Thomas picks it up. The calling that jumped in should be fairly obvious. Looking to the game advisor, the line assistant, and the goal is given. So, they do have the momentum. Pompey Magnus.
There you go, you were right. The pattern is now a pattern, now that it's 2. That was an unfortunate drop in the end zone there. And I'm not too big to admit that I definitely had one of them this morning as well. Disc was spinning away. I didn't think it was spinning, and it just spun out of my hands. It's never fun. It's just not a nice feeling dropping a pull. I remember Thomas did it in our silver medal game at AUG's in 2011, and I'll never let him forget it. So when he watches this game again, he can remember.
That's very kind. We did give him a couple of good little pump ups so far this game, so we can take him down a notch. That's fine. Yeah, look, those. It is an interesting one. The frisbee's coming down. You got plenty of time to think. Maybe it's moving around in the wind a little bit, and all you can think about is don't think about dropping the frisbee, and then you drop it. But anyway, that was unfortunate, and yeah, I think Pompey certainly has a bit of momentum. I think the score is wrong. I think it's 12-11, but maybe we're wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, Wise has it. We've got 2 minutes to time cap. It's with Isherwood, gets it to Calaviotis. Sent it to Minescu. It was a misread by Alexander, maybe initially by Minescu as well, but she realised earlier that I guess she realised it was slightly overthrown and quickly turned back and pulled it in. So that was a good point for Doublewise. They needed that. And now the score is showing 12-12. So the scoreboard's showing 12-12. So it's all tied up. Pompey just has the slight advantage with receiving the pull here. And I think what this game really needs is a bit of a step up in defense, because it's really been an offense-dominated game. Like, I think we saw a lot of zone in the middle of the game. And the zone forced some turnovers. Like the zone forced some turnovers. There was some good anticipatory play by a lot of defenders. They got intercepts. It was pretty impressive work. But we haven't seen that much of that really tight man-on-man defense, person-on-person defense. And maybe that's what we need to inject into this game in the final moments.
100%. Bring back the layout bids. Or the zone. That was working as well. I'd be for that. I'm not going to lie. The commentator's allowed to have bias for a team.
Well, I'm not going to stop you.
All right. Well, then For this moment, let's maybe not bring back the cheeky layout bids. Wouldn't mind seeing the purple get up.
Oh, sure. Right. Well, I'm not biased. I just want to see some good frisbee. But Pompey's bringing down the end zone with Thomas.
Here we go to Sprague in the middle of the field. They've been solid handlers today. And they're keeping with what works. But there we go. There you go. There's the defensive upset.
And Prentice has it. She gets it off to Isherwood. He's like 10 metres out, 10 to 15 metres out, middle of the field. Wise looking to cut. Oh, I'm going to assume that's a clean turn. Yep. So Thomas very smartly got in there and poached.
Almost like they can hear what you say. Anticipatory. Oh my God! All right, there's a foul call on that, and time cap has just gone. Rubens let us know. So finish this point, add 1. Looking tight. Game to 14. All right, so Sprague probably still looking for Holmes. Nope, got it to Thomas. Oh, he puts it long. Neil running deep, and he looks like he's got that all day. There we go. That's it. Game to 14, and Pompey is up by 1.
That was pretty. Neil realised he had a couple of steps on Lachlan Wise, put his hand up, pointed to the end zone. Thomas saw it and just put it out in front of Neil, and Neil wasn't going to take any chances with that one and pulled it in easily. So there was a little bit of momentum shift there, but only momentarily. And Pompey has the upper hand. They got 2 points here to close the game out. First one on defense. And they're considering... Oh, they're trying to find out what gender matchup is down the other end. I didn't catch it. It's 4 boys, 3 girls. So... yeah, so still, I think what this game needs is a massive layout block. And there's some people out there, well, Tivo is the one. Tivo or, sorry, Thomas Vo or Alexander, I reckon, is your choice for who might get a layout block on this double-wise possession. Got my own mic, it seems to be working.
Aw, I was enjoying sharing with you. Oh, well.
We tend to talk over each other less when we've got a single mic.
That's true.
Now we're like Hillary and Trump.
I
Nasty woman.
You could be Trump, that's fine.
Wrong.
So Calaviotis, that was a contested grab, but he took it in. A wheeler out to Minescu. Minescu has it. They're still in their half. Oh, Sudas was on the shoulder, but couldn't get there. It's a floaty put. It's Maya versus... who pulled that? Oh, Denya came in and cleaned that up.
Wentworth back to Denya. All right, he wants to put that long.
Yep.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Where's
I'd love to see it, but it's not happening. Vo's come down with it. Nice in cut. There we go. Wentworth with the layout. Doesn't quite get there.
That was a call.
Oh, that was a call. It's really hard to see what Esh is doing. Difficult to game advise.
Doesn't have the full quota of hand signals considering he only has one hand.
Yeah. It's a lovely guessing game, though.
Yeah, you kind of want Vo in the end zone right now. Okay.
Yeah. All right, into Wentworth here. Still has to lay out for it, but she gets there for that one. Upfield to Alexander. Alexander's looking to put it looks like. Centering it into Wentworth. Back to Vo. Wentworth again in the middle there. Daniel.
Keep working, Daniel. Keep working. Keep working, boys.
Oh, cheeky hammer over the top, straight into Alexander.
There you go, that's the game.
Loving arms.
Wow.
And that's it. That is game.
Excellent. Oh, that was a great game. We didn't quite get the layout block, but we got a couple of bids. Wentworth with a great layout grab here.
And there were some blocks. After you said that, there were a couple of blocks that were well read, so good on them.
Look, I really enjoyed that game. That was great play from both teams. And like massive amount of drama in the middle of the game, which was well resolved and a very clean second half with not too much talk or anything like that really in the second half.
So the spirit timeout, obviously, whatever it was about, we'll never know, but it worked.
It did work, yeah.
did work.
Okay. I have to rush off. Thank
Yeah,
you
do you
very
have a
much,
game to
Mel.
play now?
I actually have to go and pick up my daughter.
Aw.
I've got to run to a train, I think. Thank you, Mel. Thanks so much.
No worries.
And
Thanks for having me.
thanks everyone for joining in the live stream. I think we're killing this one. Start a new one. Find new commentators. Probably won't be me. Enjoy.